so lovely here. We've got some really nice sunshine. All the flowers are coming out. Stuart, I really enjoyed hearing your voice on the Lent thought for the day.
Oh, bless you. Thank you. Thank you.
You did really well. I loved it. That was last week's treat. And then this week's treat's been Di's voice. I've been enjoying your Lent addresses, Di.
Oh, bless you. I'm so glad.
You've
Thank
picked Kate,
you.
did you do one? Because I've
No,
heard
sorry.
I've heard a few of you. Who else would I have heard on there?
Gosh, who else did one? Noel's in.
Noel.
Noel may have done some.
Yes.
Did
Yeah.
Beth
Yeah.
do one?
Beth, maybe. But it was so lovely. Yeah. I actually yeah, I was walking along last night with owls in one ear and Di in the other ear.
That's a lot of noise. Bless you.
Welsh owls.
Who did who?
I
Super
had you on
fun.
Sunday as well. We had our Easter party at church, and our vicar was like, "Oh, here's this like lovely Easter story with one of my favorite versions of it." And
Oh,
there's Di in
bless
the
him.
background.
I'll have to. You reminded me. I need to. Yeah, send him that bottle of wine as a thank
Yeah.
you for plugging me. Bless
She was
you.
like, "Oh, she like you might struggle a bit because he says some Welsh things in it," and I'm like, "Let's die."
So
He
fun.
says some Welsh things. Wait, was it my Peter? Was it Peter? Why
No,
can I
it's
go really
things like
Welsh with it?
Jesus. I guess it's like the Last Supper, and this is
Oh,
how
okay.
Jesus came to show us how his Father loved, kind of.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you
Yeah, yeah,
repeat that
yeah.
phrase a lot. Yeah, I took a
Oh,
video of it.
wow.
I'll send it to you.
Okay. Calm
That
I
is
have
down.
a
so
I have a
fun.
marvelous history of people with accents and the Passion story. I remember when I was at seminary, we would, as is traditional in Catholicism, sing the Passion, and there'd be
Mm.
different people doing different roles. And there was this lovely Polish guy who played the role of the narrator, and this deep Shakespearean voice, but very thick
Mm.
Polish accent. And we got to Peter warming himself by the fire, and it came out as Peter worming himself by the fire.
Oh
Having
my
dewormed,
Lord.
having dewormed a child, that is
Oh,
a
yeah,
horrendous.
it is gross. Yeah, horrendous.
Uh,
The trauma, the
The
trauma.
trauma.
Oh,
yeah.
Abby, are we going to hear your voice on the Lent on the Lent thoughts?
no, I'm not holy enough. I
Oh,
got
I'm not
cancelled.
holy enough.
I got cancelled by Christians instead this time round.
oh no,
We're
Abby.
we're I'm rounding up the Christians in a couple of weeks to work out if we're gonna reintroduce Abby back in, if we're gonna
I'm
yeah
allowed back
allow
in.
her back in the club. So
Yeah,
she's on the we're on the fence somewhere in the minute. So
yeah, yeah.
Are
It's
just to
we?
actually
let
it
you
was
know,
mainly
darling.
Christian women that cancelled me, Di. So
Oh, I vote yes, bring her back.
Yeah,
As
we
as
all
a
vote you
Christian
in.
woman.
thanks, guys. Thanks very much.
Yeah, agreed. Oh, I love it. That's so fun. I've been enjoying the Canadian accents
Mm.
of the Romans in The Chosen.
Oh
Mm.
yeah,
Is
Oh
it
Chosen's
Canadian?
yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
It's
don't know what their
really
accents
good.
are, but it's really nice.
Mm.
Yeah,
What
everyone in
do you, I
Chosen is
mean, you're
very
the professionals, so what do you, I mean, I think I love The Chosen. I think it's brilliantly done. But do you
Love the
think you see,
chosen.
love it.
good, I'm glad
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
I
I,
love
I
the
know a
chosen.
lot of people really struggle because they now
Mm.
picture the guy that plays Jesus when they pray.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
big
Yeah,
is
time.
Jesus.
And
yeah.
a lot of people
He
think
is.
that's heretical.
Yeah.
But it's fine, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's always, I
It's either
mean,
that or a
people have
muscly white
always
man.
used people as models. So you go back and look at, the
Yeah.
early sort of paintings and so on. There was a human being stood behind the artist,
Yeah.
they're painting
Mm.
them. But I think the problem for us as Catholics with with The Chosen is Jonathan Rumi, the actor, has become so popular because he
Yeah.
is a practicing Catholic. He pops up everywhere. It's Pray the Rosary, Jonathan Rumi. Pray the Divine Mercy Chaplet with Jonathan Rumi.
Mm.
Hear Jonathan Rumi read the Gospel of John.
He's
He's
on the
he's
Hallow
all
app,
over
isn't he?
Harlow as well, isn't
Yeah,
he? He's all
Yeah,
over Harlow app.
yeah,
yeah.
What the
Yeah.
pressure. Please don't mess up Jonathan
Oh
Rumi.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
We
yeah.
No,
can't
Please,
take it.
please.
We
please
can't
Yeah.
take any more
If
don't
heartbreak.
do that.
if Jesus from the chosen goes, we're all done for, and we.
Oh
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, fun. I love it. Brilliant. I'd love to chat some more about popular media, but let's jump in to today's tools. This might be
And
it.
sorry, I don't know
We're
if you
very,
had apologies. So Katie Tang is poorly, and Rachel has to take her dad to the hospital.
Yeah, Rachel
Um,
had messaged.
Noel is on
okay.
holiday.
Matt Z is definitely on holiday as well.
Yeah, he is.
Beth.
And
Is Beth
Noel.
on holiday?
I haven't, but she's not in the office and she normally is on a Tuesday, so
Yeah,
I'm going
she's
to go and
probably,
Yeah,
be
she
on some
normally
holiday or
is.
it's the Easter holidays,
something.
isn't it? So she probably is with her kids somewhere. Yeah.
Well, love to all of those
Yeah.
guys. They're probably watching on catch up. So we love you guys. Hope you enjoyed our little chit chat there about Jesus. And let's jump into today's tools. And well done, all of you guys who are able to be here today. We're getting in some seriously good stuff ready for the holidays so we can be really intentional. Okay, here's a brilliant passage. I just love it from James. Do not merely listen to the word and so deceive yourselves. Do what it says. Anyone who listens to the word or the tool but does not do what it says is like someone who looks at his face in a mirror and after looking at himself or herself goes away and immediately forgets what they look like. But whoever looks intently into the perfect law that gives freedom or liberation and continues in it, not forgetting what they have heard, but doing it, they will be blessed in what they do. They will be blessed in what they do. Key word today, everybody. Keep being intentional. That was a phrase, not a word. Intentionality. Keep being intentional. And that's why I've pulled up this wonderful tool, Know Yourself, Lead Yourself, because we go round and round. There's that infinity symbol in the middle of the tool to remind us that you never graduate from the tool of self-awareness. We keep moving round. And as we move round, every time we look at a tool, even if we look at it for the second or third time, we're looking intently into the mirror and we're saying, what is it like to be on the other side of me? What is my tendency? How can I keep going with the good stuff? And how can I improve the stuff that is undermining my influence as a leader and as a liberator of myself and others? And that's the pattern changes, is making those small things that make a difference. So back to the verse just one more time. So we'll go back a step. Just look at it again and just pick out perhaps a word or a phrase. It's just a small group. So weigh in. I'd love to hear one or two thoughts. What strikes you from that passage today?
Yes, it's the obedience and progress takes action. It's not just choosing to think something, but yeah, put it into action.
So good. So good. An immediate application. If you think about it, if you're looking in the mirror and you realize you've got an eyelash on your face, you'll remove it straight away. You won't think, oh, I'll deal with that later. So it's whilst we're here on the call, that's why we always end with the core process is we're executing straight away. So we're looking for something we can immediately do, immediately commit to, immediately say out loud, and we are then continuing around the circle and changing. Time for one more thought.
I think intently really sticks out to me because it implies that you actually have to really look closely and get in all
Yeah.
the weeds and kind of fish through rather than just kind of glancing over and giving it a surface level. Yeah, okay, fine, move on. It's really in depth.
Absolutely. And I love the reference to fish there, right
Yeah, I didn't even notice that.
on cue with the sound.
Chosen. Hashtag chosen.
Hashtag chosen.
The fish in the chosen, it's all linked up. We love it. Okay, Fab. So that intently, look intently. Let's look. So have that mindset today. Claire and I already prayed before you came on. Lord, let everyone on this call today see something that can really help them to show up more healthily, more happily, and to be even more blessed. Because that's the promise. They will be blessed in what they do. Isn't that great? We want that. Who wants blessing?
Absolutely.
Me. Claire, over to you for a thought about the communication code.
Okay, so we know the communication code gives us a foundation for healthy interactions, hopefully. It reduces misunderstanding, it builds trust, so that everything we do sits on that relational foundation. And we know that most communication breakdowns don't happen because of bad intent. They happen because what we say is not what's received. So becoming a leader worth following starts with self-awareness, but it doesn't end there. Self-awareness on its own changes nothing. We can't just think about what we should be doing differently. We actually have to do it. And when we do that, two things happen. we improve the quality of our relationships, and we model that behavior for others. So can you own your own communication code tendencies, not justify them, actually own them? Are you aware of the tendencies of the person you're talking to? Are you adjusting to them or expecting them to adjust to you? The communication code gives us 5 types of communication, but the key is not just what you say, it's what you lead with, and remembering that practically no one wants us to lead with critique. Do you have a blind spot? Are you willing to have another go if someone hasn't understood, or if you feel that what you've said hasn't landed the way you intended it? Most communication success comes down to the sequencing, not just the content. And what you lead with determines how everything else lands. Back to you, Laura.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. It's not just about your intention. It's about the impact and the sequence as well. I really like that phrase, Claire, in your summary. Thank you, of thinking about the order that you go through the codes in as well. There's no point trying to collaborate on a solution until you've clarified that you're working on the same thing and that you both can see the problem in equal measure as well. So good. So do you want to do an example now, Claire, or later?
I can do an example now.
That would be great. Yeah, go ahead.
So are you, for example, missing care? Have you just gone straight to the facts? Or are you overusing care and avoiding clarity?
So good. So sometimes it is caring, isn't it, to be clear, but we might not ask the clarifying questions because we don't want someone to feel got at or, scrutinized. So we might then not care for them down the line because we haven't really got clear on what the problem is, or we apologize when we're trying to ask clarifying questions. So we want to create a culture where it's okay to have a forthright back and forth conversation and everyone feels secure. That's called psychological safety, where you're able to question and actually it's encouraged. It's not just put up with as well. So how can we move into that space even more? That's a really good example. I love that. So today we're kind of summarizing communication code, but we're also introducing another tool as well that you'll have prepped up. So before we go off this one, can you capture one? Which one code on here do you think needs your intentionality today? It might be one you've picked before. Just have a look and write it down. So make a note. Which one do you think just needs your attention today? Which one are you being nudged to look a bit more closely at? Jot it down. Okay, great. Now let's think about where you might need to be intentional with that. So think about the code you just jotted down and what might have made you jot that one down. Would it be because you need to think about it a bit more for yourself? So is there more self-care needed, for example? Is it for your family? So do you think you're being too critical with one particular family member maybe? Or is it for your team? Do you need to collaborate more with your team rather than letting one person, whether that's you or someone else, take the lead? So think about that code and think about, you've written your code down. Now write down your person or your zone. So which of those spheres do you want to use that code with more? Okay. Everyone written down a zone, a sphere? Yeah. So it's a bit like Cluedo. You should have, I've got collaboration with the team. So it's like having Miss Scarlet with the candlestick. Now we're going to see the third aspect. Okay. So we're introducing today, and don't worry, we're going to spend a bit more time on this tool. I absolutely love this tool, but it's just the introduction to it. And as you'd have looked at in your altitude prep. So what we're saying here is actually, we've talked a bit about psychological safety here, and we've talked a bit also about relational trust. If we want to build relationship with others, whether they're our family members, our team, our organization, and so on, and we don't just want to take transactions from people. We don't just want to do business transactions. You do this for me and I'll do this for you. But we actually want to build influence. We want to build relationship. Then we need these 4 C's. And the 4 C's are a little bit like a combination code. We've got one on our side gate. And a combination code requires all 4 numbers to be correct in order for you to open that padlock. And here we've got 4 C's, and we need all 4 of those if we want to make sure we unlock relationship with everyone. Some people respond better to a couple of these, but if you want to make sure you can build relationship with everyone, You have to make sure you cover all 4 bases. So what are they and what do they mean? Well, character is when people are asking, can I trust you? It's when people are saying, does this person have integrity? Are they for me or are they for themselves? Okay, are they genuine? So have a little think to yourself. How would you score yourself on that? You can give yourself a mark out of 5 if you like. To what extent do you think you are projecting character? Or to what extent do you value character? If you're finding it hard to assess yourself, think about what you value in others. Okay, what's your knower like? Do you just have a sense about people? Can I trust them? So how important is character to you out of 5? And then the second aspect there in the emotional intelligence column is chemistry. Do I like this person? Are they fun to be around? Do I want to spend time with them? It's really important for us to project chemistry and to make sure that we are valuing it, because for some people, it's their number 1 priority out of the 4. So think about that out of 5. To what extent do you value chemistry with people? Having fun with them, vibing, as one of my friends calls it, just getting a sense of together we can produce something better than on our own. There's fun in the room. To what extent is that important for you out of 5? And to what extent are you intentional about it? And then we have the sort of head-led thinker space column. And that begins with competency. Am I good at this? Okay. Can I be clear in what I'm doing? How is my communication? Am I thorough? So just say you're doing a presentation. Are your slides all up to date? Okay. Are you able to use the technology correctly? So think about your competency level. Are you able to do what it takes to get the job done well? Can people trust you to do the job well? That's competency. And how much do you value competency, do you think? So think about how much you project competency. Okay. Is your work thorough? In on time? Are you there, showing up in the best possible way? And do you value that in others? Think about when you're hiring people or when you're picking someone for a job, or who you value in your group of friends. Are you looking for people who exude competence? Out of 5. And then finally, credibility. And credibility has quite a lot to do with relevance. Do you have the credentials to impact this particular project I'm working on now? Are you credible in this space? Who recommends you? Do you have testimonials? Do you have qualifications that are accurate and up to date? So as a summary here, you might want to take a little screenshot of the 4 things. Here are the 4 areas. So which one got your lowest score out of 5? Which one got your lowest score? Pay particular attention to what it says about that one and just do a little deep dive on it. So mine, when I first did this a few years ago, my lowest score was chemistry, because as a pioneer guardian, a red-blue who, really values their sort of head-led stuff, I am all about competency and I love competency, and I had clear slides and presentation and I'd revised and made sure that the timings were on top and everything. But when I did a workshop with my friend, who's a wonderful yellow, Io, I said, right, give me some feedback. And she said, your slides are really dull. They're all grey. They're really boring. And you've got amazing imagery. I love your salmon. Why don't you use that? So my wonderful connector yellow friend, she gave me that tip. She said, come on. And I thought, Laura, dial up your chemistry, mate. Come on, have more fun, tell more stories, show a bit more colour. So you can see today I'm sporting my blue blackbird nesty kind of eggy kind of nails. I'm dialing up my chemistry because I want to be fun and I want to lean into that and value that aspect too, because I am fun. I just sometimes forget to put it out forward, to project it. So which is the one for you? Which got your lowest score? And write that one down as well. So we now have Miss Scarlett with the candlestick in the library, or I have collaboration with my team and chemistry as well. So I'm just sort of sketching a little pattern here. And so the kind of fun little deep dive we're doing today, as I move into the breakout question, is this: which C's in the communication code and the influence model are my work-ons today? Okay, what have I seen in the mirror today? Because it will be different to what I saw yesterday. And is there a connection? Is there a connection between those 2 C's I picked? Collaboration and chemistry were my two. Is there a connection between those two? Maybe I need to have a bit more fun with the people I work with. So maybe I could think of a way that I could apply that. That could be my thought for today. Okay, so there's a little example. We're going to stop the share. It's slightly different today. So are there any questions, any clarifying questions for that fun little task? It might kind of become more clear as you talk about it in your pairs. Is that okay?
Sure, I missed the task.
Yeah.
Put the screen up again.
Yes, I can.
Okay.
So it is breakout one. Which C's in the communication code and the influence model are my work-ons? Is there a connection between them? Or is there a way I could connect them? Is there a reason why it's those two that are in my blind spot? Think about your voices as well. That might be an interesting lens to put it on. Okay, any questions? Right, untangle it together in your group. And we'll see you in about 8 minutes. Enjoy. Hello, hello. Good. So let's go to Kate first.
Oh,
Hello.
hi. I was having some interesting reflections. So the kind of when I was thinking about it beforehand, I was reflecting a lot on the critique and for how it affects myself. And more in the sense of I'm too self-critical, I have a very loud inner critic. And I was kind of thinking of ways to sort of tackle that with celebration, maybe more, and being more appreciative of the things that I am good at, which then tied into my second set of C's, which is around competence. And it's not because I think I'm incompetent, but I do feel like it's the lowest of the ones for me. It's probably also in some ways the one I value the least because I feel like skills you can learn and you can grow in. But I have been reflecting on what this means for me as a recruiter. And I was like, I'm very prone to likability bias because if we've got chemistry and character, come on in, join the whole society, welcome to the party. Even how I do my feedback notes during interviews, I'm not writing down your answers to the question. I'm writing my observations about you, how you present yourself, how you talk, do I trust you, what's the vibe? Rather than like, oh yes, they can definitely use Excel or whatever the thing is that I need to be looking at. And I was just reflecting how Hannah's in my team and she's opposite to me and she's like literally we're opposite colors, we're opposite everything, and she's way more on the other side of the spectrum. But yeah, I was also kind of reflecting, is that competency thing more of an imposter syndrome actually that's kind of coming from the critique? So yeah, we kind of had a little chit chat around that. I'm going to get my laptop charger quickly. Please excuse
Go on.
me.
Go ahead. What I want to pull out of that, Kate, while you get your laptop charger,
Yeah, though. We'll get
is
it.
because it would be very competent if your laptop suddenly crashed right
No,
now.
it's okay. I've got a few seconds.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
I just wanted to repeat back what I can hear, which is it's really healthy for you and Hannah to collaborate because you're
Yeah.
different. So great, because then you should get someone who is both,
Yeah.
has likability and is competent. That's the ideal, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's when people don't work on their blind spots
Yeah.
and when organizations only recruit like for like that you actually then get a massive tip to one side. And this happens a lot.
Yeah.
My husband was asked to be a sort of director for someone's business, and on the call he suddenly stopped everyone and said, right, I got them all to answer a question, and it turned out that they were all exactly the same personality type, exactly the same, literally the same 4 letters in Myers-Briggs out of 16 types.
Wow.
And it was because that's what she just knew who she wanted because they were like her and she could see the same skills. And so she had to just scrap it. And James actually said, I'm going to come off this board. You don't need another me. Go and recruit some different voices. So that's why we always start with 5 voices, and the colours is let's work out who's there. And then let's try and collaborate as much as we can. So we have all of the different competencies. And we'll do a deep dive on 5 voices with the influence model in one of the sessions to come, which is really fun. So thanks, Kate. That's 8. Who was Kate talking to?
Me. She was talking to me.
Abby, right, you go next. What have you got?
Okay, so I need to work on clarity.
Yeah.
Specifically with my team. I think I've said it before, but I'll often think I've communicated something really clearly and I haven't. Or yeah, it's kind of misinterpreted or whatever. So I think I definitely need to work on that. And then the other thing the other C is competency. And I think that's linked because, again, with the clarity thing, it's just spending a bit more time on what I'm looking at. I'm very much like, I'm on to the next thing, I'm on to the next thing, whereas actually I need to take some time.
It's good.
And so I was saying about a recent piece of work we've done. Today we had to get comments in, and we've been through one round of amends, and we got the document back today, and I was like, yeah, look, looks fine to me, absolutely fine. And then my boss commented on it because he's like Mr. Detail, and he was like, oh, I've added some comments, Abby, I've highlighted 3, can you take a look at them for me? And I was like, oh, okay. So, and some of them were just well, he did it all as in questions, so I could answer each of them, and some of them were legitimately like, actually no, we can't do that because of X, Y, and Z. But some of them, actually, I think if I'd have just spent a bit more time looking at that, I could have actually done that myself without him having to question it and then go through it. So it's good because he kind of pushes me to do that, but equally I definitely need to do it more off my own back, really.
So what I'm hearing you say, tell me if this is wrong, I'm hearing you say that sometimes rushing on clarity undermines your competence down the line.
Yes.
Right. So could that be used to motivate you to go slow?
Yes.
On the clarity piece.
Oh
Why?
my gosh.
Why would that be a motivation for you?
Because then I would look less stupid.
Do we put it in the positive? Let's put it in the affirmative.
Sorry. Well, I would just be more. I would just be more competent, and I wouldn't have to be then questioned by my in front of people. I would just actually do the job correctly in the first place.
Yeah. So that's the prize. That's the win. Is actually, growing more influence to do the stuff you want to do because you've gone that little bit more slowly, which means you can go faster because you'll be given more opportunity.
Yes.
Down the line.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Go slow to go fast later. Yeah. Yeah. So we've just got to find a way to motivate ourselves to do the stuff we don't really want to do. What's the win? What's the upside to it? Stuart, over to you.
Oh, sorry, didn't want to unmute me. There we are. For me, it was celebrate at an organisational level.
Yeah.
I mean, you may have seen that some news came out last week that was rather difficult for us, particularly for my team because we're quite outward facing. And yeah, particularly watching a debate by the Religion Media Centre on YouTube with our CEO and somebody else from the organisation and critics. I'll just be upfront and say it. I felt defensive. I wanted to, that was when I thought, no, I want to celebrate the good things about our organisation, and I want to celebrate it to our leaders and say to them, no, it's not all doom and gloom. Here's where we're good. Actually, reflecting on it more now, I think generally, I will struggle at times to celebrate because I will see through what I see as superficial. I think, but if I feel somebody is being underappreciated, maybe this is the green in me, the nurture in me, I will then bring celebrate out and say, no, you are really good, and this is why. Yeah. And in the other 4 C's, I think chemistry. Yeah. And again, I'm thinking about the leadership team. I don't not get on with them, but there is a distance there. And so, yeah, I just would want to feel more comfortable, I suppose, to say to them, you are doing a good job.
So good. So good. So celebration with the organisation and build the chemistry. So almost even if you haven't got something operational to say, just spending that moment of saying, guys, you're doing a great job. I thought you were really good on that podcast or on that interview. Just taking a risk, even if you get no feedback, but recognizing that actually will be appreciated hugely. I don't know whether you saw, I'm sorry that you probably heard me just finding something there. I wanted to highlight that when I heard the news, and the news you're referring to, Stuart, is that we can't now use the
Quiet
Revival report because we're not sure whether that we don't know. It could have been absolutely accurate, but we don't know now. And it's not the Bible Society's mistake. It was YouGov's mistake, but it just doesn't reflect that well. And that's the news. That's a sad thing. But when I first heard it, I laughed. I just laughed. And so did James. We just were like, well, we know. We've seen
Yeah.
this is happening. And James was like, have you seen the Diary of a CEO this week? And I was like, no. Number one Christianity expert explains to Stephen
Wes, yeah.
Bartlett. It's awesome. It's 2.5 hours long. And Stephen Bartlett is there going, I was taken in by the new atheists. You know, I became closed-minded. I'm not closed-minded anymore. I'm open-minded now. Can you answer my questions? And he sits down with this awesome guy for 2.5 hours, and he is so good. He said, I just want to seek truth. I haven't got any agenda. So that kind of thing, and he's the number one podcaster in the UK. Like that kind of thing has happened because of the publicity that the Bible Society helped to get out about what's been going on amongst young people. So I'm afraid the horse is already out of the stable. You can't shut the door.
You're quite right. Yeah,
it's hilarious, really. It's very funny.
I count my blessings that my job lets me interact with Catholic priests and clergy because they brought me straight back down to earth. Obviously this is a big deal for us. I mean, we talked about how to talk to partners and so on. I approached a couple of priests, and their response to me was not dissimilar to a laugh. They just looked at me like, oh well, life moves on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, the fear, if you're really, this is where it calibrates with the tool. If you're really character driven, the fear is, does this reflect badly on us?
Yeah.
Did we do our due diligence? Why was there this? They didn't do this check and balance that they were supposed to have done. That now makes us look bad. The humanists are crowing. But actually, it's no reflection on the integrity of the Bible Society whatsoever. And anyway, the bigger picture is, look at the celebration points, look at the chemistry. Look at, and there's going to be another report next year. That's great. Bring it on, and you don't have to pay for it because it was their mistake. So loads to celebrate. So I think, Stuart, that's really cool. One of the things I'm hearing is when you're green or blue, you can get hung up on a detail, and it's helpful to be intentional about opening up to the bigger picture, going, but actually, what is going on here? What might be happening through? What good might be happening through this minor setback, this tiny setback? Yeah, good. So you've got celebration, organization, and chemistry. So doing a little bit of hanging out, a little bit of taking a risk, not worrying about, whether you have anything specific to say. It can just be a bit of well done, keep going. Because Stuart, you're such a person of presence and integrity. It will land. It will land. Yeah. Who on this call loves it when Stuart says something positive to them? Like it totally lands. So please keep going. That's really ace. Right, Di, what have you got?
I mean, how do I follow all of this? I just don't know. Well, I can clarify that my work on is clarity. So I can start there. And yeah, I just the valued conversation with Abs actually, I think really resonate. And we're kind of similar characters in some respects. And the clarity and the competency were my two ones as well. So when you said rushing on clarity undermines competency, that was just a real nugget for me. So thank you for that. I've kind of asterisked that. I think clarity is something that I'm trying to be really deliberate and intentional at working on. I recognize it as a kind of blind spot in myself where I think headspace wise, I'm kind of thinking about some multiple projects. And I think there's the kind of hope in some respects that people use their initiative and kind of fill in the blanks a little bit. But yeah, just kind of not rushing on to the next project, making sure I do the due diligence of, giving clarity, what are the next steps, what are the objectives. And I've been a lot better at asking for that as well. I think to be kind of aware, I think this process helped me go, this is what I'm hearing, and trying to summarize back to people what I think they're saying so I can work out what their objectives are for me. So I think that's somewhere where I've grown. But yeah, that's my kind of thinking.
So good, Di. I love it. And Kate, Abby, Di, you're all connected first voices, right? So you're yellows. And here is one of the strengths of the yellow, your ideas. You make connections like lightning. And you sometimes feel, is this true, that you need to speak them out straight away before you forget them because they're coming out and they're
Yeah.
pinging around. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's legitimate. Like, you don't want to lose something that's gold. So doodling is really helpful. If you're on a call and you're interacting with someone, just always have a pen and paper or a note
Yeah.
on your phone and just literally keyword, symbol, capture it, but then do the going back before you go forward. Do the, back and forth. So what I'm hearing is, before I share with you my amazing idea or my solution,
Yeah.
what I'm hearing is, this. Is that correct? Is that exactly right? Because that idea may be relevant, it might not be. And it will land even better if you've helped that person to just get clear on what it is they're saying. So you can then absolutely smash it. It's like when you're playing tennis and you want to have a little bit of a rally before you go for that winning
Yeah.
shot. Rally it back and forth a little bit first and then smash it.
So what I'm hearing, Laura, is I'm hearing capture the idea. I'm hearing clarify. This is what I
Yes.
think you're saying.
Yes.
And I'm hearing close, finish the loop, do the due diligence.
Using your hands all the time. Absolutely. That is awesome.
No. But honestly, like, as you know,
Yeah.
even though I'm being playful with that, even that is helpful.
Yeah.
What you said is brilliant, but even what I've added has somehow helped as well.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Totes.
I'm gonna stop talking now.
No, it's awesome. We're building. It's really exciting. I love it. So remember that back and forth. I'm going to jump into the share now as we come to the core process. Remember the back and forth then of the communication code. It's receiving, transmitting, so in all of them, you want to be checking back and forth. Before we move on, let's make sure. And if you go slow through that aspect, you will go further together as a team further on down the line. So we're thinking about the mapping of these three tools together, the character, the chemistry, the competence, and the credibility, and how they go together. And they often do. And as I say, we'll do the 5 voices deep dive with those shortly in one of the sessions to follow. So Claire, are you happy to share with us a core process for one of the things you thought about?
Yeah. So Laura and I always do the exercises alongside you guys, even if we don't share them. So I was looking this week at Collaborate because I always feel like I should know what I'm doing, or I should kind of be in charge at home. So I end up being sort of director rather than collaborator. And then the thing that I've focused on is credibility. Because I feel really uncomfortable doing things that will point out something that would possibly make me credible to other people, like doing a LinkedIn post. Because it just feels really deeply uncomfortable. So this week I recognized that I needed to kind of properly acknowledge that I have done quite a lot of retraining over the last few years. And that I took the exam for the Giant Guide in January, and I haven't actually posted that anywhere formally. So Laura challenged me with posting it onto LinkedIn, which I did very uncomfortably. So that was my core process for that one.
Boom, execution. So you've now put it on LinkedIn. Everybody knows your credentials because that's the thing with the greens, and also just sometimes with yellows as well, is you are credible, but you don't ever want to look like you're boasting. You feel uncomfortable with anything that seems like it's pointing to yourself. So actually being able to say, actually, this is the qualification I have, thinking how that will liberate someone else, because that will help someone else who values credibility to access your expertise, which they may well need. So Claire, that's awesome that you've done that. Well done. And that was an execution. So we really want to get to something solid that will show you what you've done. So think about your particular C's that you have mentioned today. You can either pick one of them or the combination of those two. Those ahas we just had. How now can we move them to an execution point. You might already have one, or you might just need to work through the process in pairs. So coach one another to a place where you have an exact thing. So thinking again about the mirror, looking in the mirror, if you see something on your face or you see, something in your teeth, you're going to remove it, aren't you? So what is the thing you can now see, and what specific thing are you going to do to make sure that you can grow influence in that area? Okay. Into the share. See y'all the other side. So fire away. What have you got?
I have, so this is what I've got. So I was saying to Stuart, I was going to do all these summaries, all these action points, and he was like, that might be difficult to kind of to keep doing if that's not the way you're wired. So I got a little tip from Stuart to do voice notes and then kind of work on next steps and summaries from there. So I can do that in with my kind of with my brain that's thinking of several different things at once. I think that's more manageable for me. But I think, yeah, I'm going to try and take a beat, finishing one thing off before moving on to another. And I think the other thing is probably margin. I feel like my margins kind of got squeezed, and it's probably a timing thing because it's the build up to Easter, and there's just a bunch of stuff that I've got to fulfill over the next 10 days. But I think to try and start from the place of feeling rested rather than start from a place of feeling full and busy, I think is going to help that clarity piece as well.
Very good. So what's one thing you can do in the immediate future, today or tomorrow, that could give you a
So
recharge?
yeah, so I'm gonna go for coffee after work today and just take a beat. So that's and maybe go for a walk. So I'm gonna do that.
Do it. Do it. Even if it's just 15 minutes,
Yeah,
that is so good, so important. And then put another one in tomorrow as well.
yeah,
So
great.
just write that word beat somewhere, stick it on a post-it note, take a beat.
Six beats time.
Brilliant.
6 beats.
I'll take 6 beats.
Take a beat. I love it. I'm going to take that phrase, take a beat. Stuart, well done. So Di was just saying how well Stuart coached him. Love that, Stuart.
Oh, well done.
Oh, thank you. Well, mine's pretty easy. I'm just going to send Paul an encouraging message on Teams.
Yes. Love that, Stuart. Awesome. Abby?
I'm going to write down Neil's questions that he asked me when in his feedback, and I'm going to ask them of myself when I do feedback before next time before I send my
Amazing. Amazing. Where are you going to put them?
in my notebook. I always have a notebook with me, so I'll put them in my notebook.
Nice. I love that. You can decorate them, make them look attractive, draw you in so that you feel pleasing when you see them. And then write something nice at the bottom, like give yourself a reward for having
That's a
gone
nice
through.
idea.
Reward is so important for the thing you don't want to do. So when I'm doing lots of revision practice with youngsters as a teacher, go and do your revision, and then give yourself, so maybe have your supper, go and do some revision, and save your piece of cake, save your pudding for after the revision. Reward yourself
Yeah,
for
it's
having
good.
done the annoying thing. So what's the thing you're looking forward to doing? Put that
I think
in.
that's good. Thank you, Laura.
Yeah. So even a note to yourself.
Mm.
I write notes to myself sometimes, and it lands. Laurie, you're doing great. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I've written it myself
Oh, that's
a few
nice.
days ago. But just coaching yourself, bringing that self-care. What do you need to hear? What do you need to see? Kate, what have you got?
Well, I was very inspired by Claire, and I was reflecting that my whole team are CIPD certified, and I am not. And I was like, there is a way you can get it certified using a portfolio of work, not having to do courses and stuff. So I'm going to look into what that might look like while I'm on adoption leave, because I imagine there'll be times, particularly if she does start school in September, when I could use that as a time to build up my portfolio, possibly get CIPD certified, boost my own competence feelings, and to your point of like almost like signposting to everyone else, look how competent I am. You can
Yes.
trust me. I have a
Yes.
qualification. So yeah,
I love
I'm
that.
gonna explore that. It might not be practical, but I'm gonna look
Love
into
it.
it and see what that could entail.
So the practical bit, Kate, I suggest is put in your diary now for
Yeah.
September. Just
Yeah.
pick a random date in September, September 14th.
Yeah.
Put an hour in your diary with that title of what you're going
Yes.
to do, and just move it. When it gets nearer the time, don't just tell yourself, I'm not going to cancel that, but I'm just going to move it to the best place. And when you
Right. Yeah.
see it there, if you have an electronic diary, or even if you have a paper one, when you see it there, it will jog your memory. And that's an execution point in itself.
Nice.
Kate,
Yeah.
well done. Love that. Yeah. Show off your competency
Yeah.
because and credibility, because it helps others to trust you,
Yeah.
and that's in their
Yeah. I
interests.
like that. Yeah.
Lovely. Claire, what are we doing next? We've got a little break coming up, haven't we?
We have got a little break, and then we are coming back with 3
Ooh.
sessions. So we've got maximizing influence, the 5 voices connection, overcoming self-preservation, and relationship before opportunity.
These are so good. I love this tool. I know I say that all the time because I love doing these tools, but this is absolute gold. We're getting really into the kind of real, like good momentum stuff. So you'll enjoy those. They will be empowering for you and refreshing for you over the Easter holiday. Have a great one. Enjoy Easter weekend. Celebrate lots, and we'll see you the other side
Thank
Guys,
you.
Yeah,
guys, I'm so
happy.
sorry. When's the next session?
in 3 weeks' time.
Yeah,
3 weeks' time. Brilliant.
21st of April.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Looking forward to it already.
Happy Easter, guys.
Happy
Easter, guys.
Easter.
Bless
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye.